Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Channel Claire. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in this crazy, crazy world. So, I am back with an update on the Wendy and Eddie Osefo fraud claims. Man, this is going to be messy. And these ladies on Real Housewives of Potomac are not going to let Wendy get away with this. They're going to give her a time, honey, especially if she shows up to the reunion, because that still has not been filmed. And Wendy has had a lot to say about the ladies, where it seems like she can come off a little condescending at times, and she has herself at these high standards. So to be in a situation like this, people are definitely side-eyeing her, rightfully so. And with this new development that the fraudulent claims are due to a break-in that was reported by the couple last year, I'm really like, okay, Wendy, what is going on? So apparently, last year, the Osefos reported a break-in at their home where several designer bags and jewelry had been stolen. However, Wendy was later seen on social media wearing one of the diamond rings that she had previously reported as stolen. Okay? And apparently, there were numerous items that were on this list that were reportedly stolen that have shown up on social media. And then, get this, numerous items the Osefos claimed were stolen had been purchased, all right, then returned to the store where a full refund was provided prior to the alleged burglary. So, how are you reporting items being stolen that you had returned to the store for a full refund? The document is indicating that the couple has claimed a total personal property loss to insurance for $450,000. This is not going to go over well. And my thing is, how do you get caught up in a situation like this? I'm thinking that when they reported this to the police, somebody on that team, on the investigation team, was like, this story isn't making sense. Something is fishy about this, and they were told to watch them. And so they were watching the Osefos in their social media to see if potentially anything would pop up that was reported stolen. And indeed, like the ring, it was. So you're reporting stolen property that is currently on your social media? This is not going to be good for the Osefos. I mean, Jen Shaw, who was doing fraudulent things with the elderly, is still in jail. The shit's always going to catch up with you, and I do feel like they may potentially have to do jail time for this. And they have like at least 3 kids, and to have both parents in this foolishness, I mean, even Joe and Teresa, fraud. They both went to jail. This is not good. I know, I think Teresa went in first and then Joe went in second, so someone was there with the kids. It may be a similar situation for Wendy and Eddie. But what the hell? $450,000 that you reported to the insurance company of items that were stolen, hoping to get money back from that, which I'm sure that they did, which is why we're here now. But my question is why? Why do all of that? When you've got Happy Eddie going on, you've got Wendy, who is on Bravo as a Real Housewife. I mean, she's been on there a few years now, so the check should be pretty good. You get more and more as the longer you stay on the series. And she's been a commentator on, MSNBC. She's been a professor. All of these things, which you would think would bring in money, right? But I will say, in today's day and age, it's just rough out here. Everything's high as hell. And when you're trying to keep up appearances for your peers and for a TV show, that has to be stressful. So then you get in situations like this where you're trying to pull money out of thin air in ill-gotten ways, and now you're getting booked and your mugshot is out there for the world to see. And it's just bad. It's just bad. And I think somewhere along the way with these Real Housewives, they lost the plot. Because I remember back to like the OGs, like in the beginning with OC and New York and Atlanta, these women weren't touting like designer handbags like every dang on day, or getting glam for every fucking interview or sit down or dinner. Their cars weren't super flashy. Like I just don't remember them being super super flashy in the beginning when they first started. Like we knew that they were wealthy and they had, more money than what I did, like the normal person did, but it wasn't like this super flashy thing, and nobody was getting glam for every fucking time they were on camera. And then it became this thing where everything with the housewives became super materialistic, with the houses and the bags and the car and the hair and the glam and the that is a lot to maintain. Okay? And a lot of these ladies, they're trying to have these businesses on the sides, but their bread and butter, that main check is from Bravo. So in order to stay on the show, they're feeling like, okay, I have to keep up these appearances, but then they're further keeping themselves in a hole. It's a mess. It's a mess because I remember the OG ladies from New York, from OC, from Atlanta, and even without all of that, we enjoyed them. I much prefer that because it's real. All of this shit now with these housewives seems so fucking manufactured. It really does. Like what was it? I was watching Potomac last season, and one of the new girls had a daughter for her birthday. She hadn't had a birthday for her daughter, and maybe the daughter was turning like 14. I don't remember what age she was turning, but she bought her like 14 purses for 14 years, however old she was turning. I'm like, for what? Just to show at this birthday party, just to like, for what? You can't do anything with those handbags. Just all that money you spent on the handbags, maybe put it in a college fund, put it in an investment fund for your daughter so that she can have it later when she graduates or something. But bags, just to keep up appearances, just to say that you have it, I think the plot has been lost with these ladies, and it's getting them in these fucked up, fraudulent situations because they're trying to keep up appearances of them living these lifestyles that they simply cannot maintain. They just can't do it. I mean, look at Kim and Croy. All the years Kim was on Real Housewives, Croy was a football player, and still they got kicked out of their house. They're going through all this divorce shit. Their kids are there through it all. Now one of the kids, one of the daughters, Ariana, is on the new show with the younger kids. I forget what it's called right now. But now she's working. Apparently she had been giving Kim money. It's just like, what are y'all doing with your money? And I'm just thinking to myself, I am hoping if I, get to that point where I'm making money like these ladies are, that I'm smart about it and don't feel like I have to keep up appearances for anybody. And the thing is about the audience, we like real. We like the real shit. So all this manufactured putting on fucking glam and doing this, that, and another, like, I think we really need to take it back to basics. Take it back to basics. You could still be wealthy and show your wealth, and we know that you're wealthy, without you having to do all this shit to get money to keep up appearances and then be put in jail for it. It's just, it's so unnecessary. And I know Wendy's family because they're, you know, they're about appearances and, not shaming the family and this, that, and other. I know her parents have to be through with her, but then at the same time, I'm like, she probably takes care of a good part of her family, which is probably an added responsibility, an added stress that you're having to care and provide for your family and other households. I don't know if that's actuality, but like the way her mom was talking kind of always seemed like she expected things of Wendy monetarily. So you're taking care of grown ass people who just simply refuse not to work. So if I were Wendy, if my mom tried to say anything, I'd be like, girl, don't even, because I had to do this fraudulent shit to take care of your ass. So don't even try it. But it's just a sad situation because they do have young kids. And I do feel like, unfortunately, it might be a situation like a Teresa and Joe situation where someone's going to have to do some time. $450,000 that you reported to the insurance company, yet they're seeing you with items that you claimed were stolen in social media. They were watching y'all. Wendy and Eddie were being watched. Okay. They were building a case. And who knows if they knew it, if this was all a surprise to them. I don't know, but just not a good situation. But I will keep you all updated. So, my friend did send me over the court docs on this that have been posted on Reddit. All their businesses out here. So, this is the state of Maryland versus Wendy Osefo in the Circuit Court of Maryland for Carroll County. She has a case number. So, it says, now comes the state of Maryland by and through its attorney, Melissa Hocknesmith, Deputy State Attorney for Carroll County, and states the following. On Thursday, October 9th, 2025, yesterday, the defendant was indicted by the grand jury for Carroll County on 7 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of conspiracy insurance fraud, and 1 count of false statements to a police officer. An arrest warrant was issued and bail was set at $50,000. The allegations in this case are that on April 7th of 2024, Carroll County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to blank blank, I guess they redacted her address, in Vicksburg in Carroll County, which, if that's their residence, that's not in Potomac, so, interesting. Maryland, so they called the police to the residence, and they reported a burglary. A deputy was met by the homeowners, Edward and Wendy Osefo, who reported to him that they had left to go on a trip to Jamaica on April 2nd of 2024. And when they returned on April 7th, 2024, at approximately 10 p.m., they found their bedroom and both closets to be ransacked, and several designer handbags and jewelry had been stolen. What likely happened is, I watch a lot of like interrogation or crime stuff, and police can tell because they've been doing this for a while. They can tell when things seem staged. A lot of times people will try to come in and ransack a house and then K-word someone. And they are trying to make it seem like it was a burglary. And because, someone was home, the person had to K-word them. When in actuality, the whole reason for the person breaking in was to K-word that person, not for the burglary. But they're using a burglary to stage the situation and kind of throw the police off. So it could have been a situation where these professionals in their field came into the scene of Wendy and Eddie's house and are seeing this house ransacked, and they were like, something's not right. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't seem right. This doesn't look like a burglary situation that we know we're used to. Like, they know. They definitely know. It continues. The state's evidence would show the perpetrated point of entry into the home to be the owner's bathroom window on the second floor. The window looks onto a small roof that was about 9 feet above the deck. There were no ladders, and the deck furniture, let me go to the next page, was undisturbed, and no indication anyone had been on the deck. So they're saying, how the hell did this person get up to this window if that was the point of entry for this burglar? Why was nothing disturbed? Interesting. The Osefos stated that they did not touch anything prior to the police arrival. One moment. So apparently they said that they did not touch anything prior to the police arrival. There was a screen with damage laying on the roof, and the window was not locked. To go in or out of the window, one has to step on the toilet. The toilet lid was down and had no debris on it. Yet another sign of staging, allegedly. When the sheriff's office personnel stepped onto the roof and back into the home, they tracked roof grit back inside. So why was there not roof grit already there if this guy got into the home via the bathroom? The same thing would have happened with the burglar as it did with the police. The Osefos had an ADT system and a ring camera. The Osefos activated the ADT alarm system upon leaving for vacation. During the time they were away, there was no motion detected inside the residence. There was activity such as package deliveries on the ring camera that was monitored remotely by the Osefos. So again, if there's ADT, there's ring, he didn't catch anybody getting up into this house. This is not looking good for the Osefos. Wendy is sitting up in that dang on mugshot smiling, probably because she knew it was going to be circulated everywhere, and she was like, well, shit, I might as well smile. But this is not looking good for them, y'all. It's really not. So it goes on. Investigation determined that on April 8th, 2024, the Osefos initiated 3 separate insurance claims. So the day after they got back, they initiated 3 separate insurance claims for the burglary and theft: traveler's insurance, jewelry, mutual insurance, and home site insurance for the alleged losses suffered while they were away. Eddie gave recorded statements to 2 of the insurance companies regarding a list of stolen items he provided. He was asked whether any of the items on the list had been returned, which he denied. Which we know items were returned for a full refund. So that's a lie. You're lying to police. He was asked if he had other insurance but failed to disclose to home site and jewelry that he was also making a claim with traveler's insurance. For home site, both Edward and Wendy Osefo signed a sworn statement of loss, which was notarized. The total amount of loss claimed on the sworn statement of loss was $2,500 for the building and $450,000 estimated for contents, personal property. He included an inventory of reported stolen items, along with receipts for the purchase of most of the items on the inventory. I guess when you have high value stuff, you keep your receipts. Okay, good to know. That claim was denied to let me go to the next page. So the claim was denied due to failure to disclose the policy with traveler's insurance. In the original claim submitted on April 8th, 2024 to travelers, Edward confirmed that he and his wife were wearing their anniversary bands when the loss occurred. However, Edward called traveler's insurance on April 10th, 2024 and said he needed to update their claim, stating his wife's gold diamond anniversary band was missing. Eddie, they were moving like they were not going to get caught. Like they getting caught was nowhere on their fucking radar. Like that is just dumb. Okay, how are you going to say that you were wearing it and then all of a sudden be like, oh, actually, it was stolen? Why aren't you wearing your diamond anniversary wedding band? I mean, I guess when people travel, maybe they're not wearing their most expensive jewelry, but why say in the beginning you were? I mean, it would have made more sense to say that you weren't due to the travel. That would have made sense. This is just so dumb and unnecessary. The same day, Travelers Insurance settled the claim for $25,380, which included the replacement price of the band. That happened fast. After the initial reported claim on April 11th, 2024, both Wendy and Edward signed the supported letters to Jewelers Mutual Insurance claiming the burglary occurred and the items were reported stolen. At the request of Jewelers Mutual Insurance, the Osefos provided an initial list of 57 stolen items. My God, why did they do this? Included on the list was Wendy's gold diamond anniversary band that was reported in the traveler's insurance claim. On April 22nd of 2024, Edward was interviewed during a recorded call and did not make any mention of the jury claim or payout with travelers. Deputies were suspicious of the circumstances of the burglary and records from the stores where some of the items were purchased, along with social media and email accounts. Investigation determined that numerous items that the Osefos claimed were stolen had been purchased, then returned to the store where a full refund was provided prior to the alleged burglary. These items were valued in excess of $20,000. For example, there was a Dior shirt that was listed as stolen that was valued at $1,500. Sorry, 1450. But the shirt was returned on January 14th, 2023. So like a whole year earlier, like, in another year, the previous year, for a refund and a Gucci leather wallet that was purchased in 2018 and returned 2 weeks later for a refund of $948. I'm not buying a wallet for almost $1,000. Like, I don't care how much money I have. That is just so ugh. And it's just for appearances, just to say that you could have it. Additionally, while reviewing social media Instagram account for Wendy Osefo, deputies observed photos of Wendy prior to the burglary wearing a diamond anniversary band on her left finger. This ring was reportedly stolen in the burglary. Then, after the reported burglary on April 27, 2024, Wendy Osefo is wearing the same ring on her left finger. So, Wendy, y'all just made the report. What, on the 7th of April when y'all had got back from the trip, and then on the 27th, like a couple weeks later, you're wearing the ring? Like, this is dumb. The ring features multiple rows of diamonds and has a V shape on the side that separates where the rows of diamonds begin. That ring had been photographed prior to the burglary for an appraisal and matches the photo of the ring on April 27, 2024. Deputies obtained email records for the Osefos on April 12, 2024. Edward emailed the list of reportedly stolen items to Wendy. The email asked if there were additional high-value items we can add to this inventory, listing Chanel shoes, etc. I'm trying to get the total cost to exceed $423,000, which is our policy maximum. So they're all in freaking emails colluding in this fraudulent shit. Oh my gosh. At the time of their arrest, a search and seizure warrant was executed for the Osefos' home, and deputies found at least 15 items that appeared to be the same ones that they earlier claimed were stolen in the alleged burglary. What the fuck? Why would y'all not hide the shit somewhere, put it in a storage or some shit away from... This is dumb. Oh my gosh, this is so dumb. The investigation revealed the Osefos to be burdened by substantial debt. So they're sitting around here in debt, yet she's on this new season talking about how Happy Eddie is doing so well and they're able to be selective about their projects. Yet, apparently, they're burdened with substantial debt. They were putting on a show, putting on appearances, trying to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, it's never going to fare well. And now everybody knows your fucking business, which is what you were probably trying to avoid by doing all of this, but now it's all out here on Front Street, and you're in jail. Edward and Wendy conspired to make fraudulent statements and provided misleading information to support of making the 3 insurance claims for financial gain. Wherefore, the state respectfully requests the bail remain the same at $50,000. Wow. They're in a tight situation. Very, very tight situation, y'all. So this is where we are with the Osefos, and I guess they're going to be getting out on bond $50,000. But I'm like, where are you pulling $50,000 from if you're in substantial debt, which caused you to do this whole fraudulent scheme to begin with? Hopefully somebody in their family has some cash for them, since they've likely been taking care of them all along. Hopefully someone stashed a little bit of change somewhere. But this is madness, and it's really just a lesson for all of us out there. Like, well, whatever all of this, the glam and how things look or seem on social media, that shit, people show you their highlights, they show you what they want you to see, and a lot of people are fronting. They just are. And this is proof of it. I mean, for them to have done the investigation where they could see, look, if you're saying that he got through into your bedroom via your bathroom window, why is none of the deck stuff disturbed? Why is there no roof grit on the toilet where he would have had to step on to get in here? Why is XYZ? Like, these are professionals. And I guess when they thought of this scheme, I don't know who brought the scheme to one another. If Eddie said, hey, this is what we have to do to Wendy, or Wendy was like, hey, Eddie, this is what we have to do. But regardless, they decided on it together. They're going down together. Um, but at no point did they think this was going to happen. And I think it was done out of desperation, which makes it even worse. So we're going to see where this goes, you guys. And it's a young family. They have kids. So this is sad. And I hope that when they were taken into custody, the kids weren't there. No kid should have to see that and see their parents put in handcuffs and taken away in a car. Like, that's just so traumatic. So, yeah, you guys, I will keep you updated. I hope you have a wonderful Friday wherever you are. Okay, I thought I was gone. I'm back. Just one more thing. Because how could I forget about Dorit and PK over there on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Now, we know they have all types of financial stuff going on with PK. All right, we know this. And their house was also broken into. I don't know if it was last year, may have been the year before, but it was heavily a storyline on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So much so to the point where there were some ladies questioning whether or not this break-in actually took place. Now, Dorit played it up well. She was all distraught and everything, but Garcelle was one who really did not believe the break-in. It seems as if Garcelle felt as if it was along the similar lines of what's happening with Eddie and Wendy, that this may have been an insurance scam break-in. I would not put it past Dorit and PK doing something like that. Unfortunately, it seems like they may have done it smarter, hired actors or got the shit that they said was stolen out of the household and it's somewhere far away from them. But I could see that happening. But all I know is Dorit and PK probably saw this news today and they were like, oh shit, let's tighten it up. Let's tighten it up real quick. Make sure all your ducks are in a row. So the Bravo investigator team, the Bravo Real Housewife investigator team won't become looking your way. All right. Because I could definitely see them doing an insurance scam. So that's all I wanted to say. And I will end the video here. Have a good day, guys.